Courtroom secrets, savage judge reactions, and legal drama they don't show on TV. Welcome to the Legal Watch. This is where you get the real stories, the facts that matter, and the moments that shake the courtroom. If you're into intense legal cases, strict judges, and shocking courtroom twists, hit subscribe and become part of the Legal Watch. Now, let's get into today's case.
This case is about defendant Valerie Godsy and her repeated escalating and dangerous conduct that has made this apartment community unsafe for families who live there. The evidence will show that defendant has violated her lease, violated the animal addendum, endangered multiple residents, and ignored every warning and notice that we've issued to her. The evidence will show surveillance images from October 2nd, 2025, showing the defendant's pitbull breed dog off the leash, chasing another resident. You'll see a lease violation notice issued as a result of that. The court will hear about an incident that occurred on October 18th where the defendant again failed to control her dog, which ultimately led to her dog being temporarily impounded by San Antonio Animal Care Services. And that defendant physically interfered with the officer's investigation, which required SAPD to be summoned to the property to back up Animal Care Services. The court will hear also about an incident that occurred on October 19th, where the defendant opened her door and ordered her dog to get another resident, as a result of that incident and the ensuing investigation, SAPD actually arrested Ms. Godsy on that date on October 19th, 2025. Most importantly, the conduct has continued, Your Honor. We have additional photographs of the dog off the leash at large in the community. We have a surveillance footage from January 18th, 2026, showing the defendant again failing to control her dog. In that video, a family, a father, his wife, and their young children is shown retreating in fear down the hallway, the common area hallway, while the defendant follows after them with her dog, not going in the direction of her unit. This continuing and escalating pattern has terrified residents and made the common areas unsafe. You'll hear evidence that supports that. There's a lease contract and animal addendum that has certain provisions in that, including that the dog be leashed and under effective control, not disturb, threaten, or endanger other residents, and refrain from criminal conduct. I believe the evidence will show that a proper 30-day notice to vacate was issued on November 5th, 2025. And I think that there's going to be plenty sufficient evidence for the court to award plaintiff a judgment for possession, as well as reasonable attorney's fees and court costs through the time of trial today. Again, thank you very much for your time, Your Honor.
All right, I'll hear from you, Ms. Godsy, briefly.
Hi, my name is Valerie Godsy, and this is simple because I don't know why we're still in court. This is a spiritual thing, not a mental thing, but it does somewhat relate to mental, and I don't know how to tell 911 that I needed help. The reason the cops were coming out here is because, for one, I had them bring me home, and that was in October. I had them bring me home because I was out having this baby in the middle of the street. I have 5 singles and a set of twins. I know what it is to have a baby. I saw that baby ascend only when it was further away in the distance. That's when I saw it. Now, this is why I only say this because, for one, it's important, the message, not the messenger, but because I did call 911. I was the one that was calling 911. And then I have reports, logs saying that I was the psych caller and this and that. Well, no, it's not psych, it's spiritual. But it does turn mental when you do not know how to ask for help. If you look at Revelation 12, that is everything I went through. And I was calling the cops since before my apartments. Again, I had them bring me home. My feet were cut up. I was having a baby. I was crying out they're having a baby. Again, I know what it is to have a baby.
Hold on. Okay, so let me ask you, when were you having the baby?
This was in October, and there's no chance of being pregnant, sir, Your Honor. So this is spiritual, not mental. And
What do
it's
you,
not physical
hold on.
either because it's spiritual.
What do you mean by spiritual? I'm trying to figure that out.
Because I've had a baby. I know what it is to have a baby, and that's what I told the cops is spiritual. If you look at Revelation 12, now I understand now what I was going through. That explains exactly what I was going through. Now,
How is it spiritual if you've got the dog loose and you've got a
I'm
contract?
not talking about that. I'm talking about on my own. I'm telling you about why, and I don't mean to get
Slow
loud.
down, slow down.
I know. I don't mean to get loud, but how is it spiritual? Because that's what I told the cops to begin with. And the reason I'm saying that is because the cops were here because I brought them here. I brought them to the apartment because I asked them to bring me home. And I was calling them several times, not just from here in my apartment. But yeah, I didn't know how to ask for help because I did just have a baby. There's no baby. I did just have a baby, and there is no baby that I could physically give you or ask for help with. But that didn't. I don't know if it's a rupture, but something was rupturing. I've had that baby, and that's why I was asking for help, and I didn't know how. Now that I'm
all right, let me ask you this: so how many children do you have?
I have five. I have seven. 5 single births, and then a set of twins. I do not have them with me. Okay, so my thing is
what did you say? I didn't hear that. You have them with you?
I have seven, including a set of twins. So 5 naturals and a set of twins. I know what it is to have a baby. Like that didn't stop the baby from not coming, even though I was a possibility of having a pregnancy. So yeah, my feet were all cut up. When the cops brought me home, my feet were all torn up just from walking in those streets. I walked for miles. I made it all the way to Broadway.
Ma'am, let me just ask you this question. What does that have to do with whatever issues you had
the cops
with
were
the
here
pregnancy?
because
Hold on.
Help.
Let me finish. I'm trying to figure out what does the pregnancy have to do with the dog being loose and you have a
There was no pregnancy.
Let me finish. What does it have to do? I'm trying to figure out what does your pregnancy and it may have been traumatic or whatever have to do with the loose dog and an agreement and a contract that you had with the apartment complex with respect to the animals.
My feet were torn up. I was walking for miles. I lost toenails. I have pictures of this.
What was torn up? Your feet?
My toenails. I lost toenails. That's why she was off her thing because she got loose. And it's not a everyday thing. It's not a everything. This was only when I was injured from walking. My feet were all blistered. I have pictures of it. I went to go show my neighbor.
Again, ma'am. What does that have to do with the dog being
my feet? That's what I have to do with my feet. But look, all I really wanted from this man is I don't want to lose my voucher. And I'm sorry to get mad, but you're not understanding. So let me just tell you. So all this really simply has to do is I wanted time. I asked that man by email because he's a liar. I asked him by email, hey, if I get rid of my dog, can you? Can I say, I just don't want to lose my voucher, and I've asked him to sign the paper over and over so I can move, and he won't sign it. I just need time to move.
All right. What I'm going to do is, let me see, where is Mr. Brian?
I'm Scott. Yeah, I'm the attorney handling the case. Scott. I'm with the sworn law firm.
All right, Scott, will you call your first witness and briefly go over the sections of the contract?
I just wanted to move. And this man won't sign the paper so that I can't move. I still have the paper. He refuses to sign it because he's going to wait for court, because we're going to court. That's all I need. That's slowing me down. I'm looking for a voucher to move. If it's really a headache, help me get rid of me. Help me move for my safety. Because if they were shot at me, should have shot at my dog. I have a video where it slides up with my head, not the dog.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to have to mute you. I'm going to take on proof from the plaintiff's attorney, a witness. All right, which is your witness, Scott?
Your Honor, at this time, I'll call Dylan Osorio, the community manager.
All right, if you raise your right hand, Ms. Osorio, you swear or affirm you truly that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. You may proceed, Mr. Scott.
Mr. Osorio, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Osorio, you're the community manager for the plaintiff's apartment community in this matter. Is that correct?
Yes,
All right, I'm going to show you a document that's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 1 and previously filed with the court. Is this a true and correct copy of the lease contract?
it is.
Okay. And you, in Your Honor, plaintiff offers exhibit 1 into evidence.
Any objections, Ms. Godsy?
What?
Any objections to the introduction of the lease into evidence?
I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm not listening to you. I'm not too for neighbor.
They're offering into evidence the lease agreement between you and the apartment complex. What's the
Instead
legal
of just
objection?
signing the paper,
What?
instead of signing so the paper,
Don't talk over me. Do not talk over me.
You asked me a question.
Do you have a legal objection to the introduction of this document?
I don't know what document you're talking about, so I guess not.
It's the apartment complex. It's your lease agreement. All right. It's plaintiff's exhibit number 1 is admitted into evidence. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And all these exhibits were filed with the petition and were served on the defendant. So just to be clear about that. Mr. Osorio, the lease contract does it allow any occupants to reside in the lease premises?
No, she is the only occupant.
Okay. And so in the defendant's opening, she said something about being pregnant, but then I guess it was kind of clear she said it was a spiritual pregnancy.
I'm not pregnant.
And
I'm not pregnant
to
whatsoever.
your knowledge,
Pregnant.
was Miss Godsy ever pregnant during any or gave birth to a child at any relevant time?
Not that I witnessed.
Okay. All right. So
I was
moving on.
not pregnant, is what I was saying.
Ma'am,
Now y'all are making it mental.
Ma'am.
Moving.
okay, ma'am. The
You're
attorney.
up on these fucking liars. Fucking ignorant. They don't understand English. I'm not pregnant. No chance. Not pregnant. Spiritual. Not physical. Not mental. It's spiritual.
Ma'am.
Now they're making it mental, right, baby?
Ma'am, the attorney has the floor.
Instead of signing a paper, I just move, right?
Ma'am, you'll be allowed an opportunity to cross-examine.
I want to hang up.
Testify.
Yes, I know.
You may proceed, Mr. Scott.
All right, Mr. Osorio, you heard my opening remarks concerning multiple instances where Miss Godsy failed to control the dog, let the dog off the leash. It charged other residents, attacked at other residents. I'm going to show you what's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 3. Are these true and correct still frames of the community's surveillance involving an incident that occurred on October 2nd, where Miss Godsy was unable to control her dog while another resident had their dog on a leash, and the dog was off the leash, and she essentially gave up on trying to control the dog?
Those are accurate still frames.
Okay. And so, Your Honor, plaintiff offers exhibit number 3 into evidence.
All right, let me ask you this question. All right, going back to those pictures. All right, Miss Godsy is that who is in the red?
That is Godsy.
Your Honor, that's Miss Godsy.
All right, in the red. Okay, all right. And the other one is a resident with walking their dog. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
and I have the actual video footage if the court would rather see that. Just because I had to file something with the court, it's a lot easier to file still frames.
I can see it. Yes. Okay, you may proceed.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Is that we are offering that into evidence?
Any objections to those pictures being admitted into evidence, Miss Godsy? They'll be admitted into evidence then. That's the plaintiff's exhibit number 2. Proceed, Mr.
Okay.
Fournier.
Thank you. As a result of this incident, Dylan, was a notice of lease violation issued to Miss Godsy?
It was.
Okay, and is this a true and correct copy of that notice of lease violation delivered to Ms. Godsy on October 3rd?
It is.
Okay, Your Honor, plaintiff offers Exhibit 3 into evidence.
Any
Or
objections, Ms.
2, I'm sorry,
Godsy?
2.
That too?
Yes.
That'll be admitted into evidence.
All right, thank you. And moving on, just to clarify, did we have, or were there continuing issues with Miss Godsy and the dog running around the property off the leash?
Yes, that recent incident on the 18th
Of
January.
January, okay. And I'm actually going to put up on the screen, not that one, the surveillance footage. Is this surveillance footage from January 18th?
It hasn't loaded quite yet.
I'm so sorry. Let me, I had it up. There we go. Here we go. All right. I'm sharing the screen. Is this surveillance footage from January 18th, 2026?
It is.
And what is this showing?
A family trying to go exit the stairwell and being greeted by an aggressive dog.
And whose aggressive dog is that?
Miss Godsy's.
Okay. And so does Miss Godsy live where she's headed with that dog?
She is one apartment down on the right.
Okay. All right. And so the family was terrified and had to retreat because of the dog. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So going back to October 18th, was animal control contacted and temporarily impounded the dog while it was off the leash?
Yes.
Okay. And was law enforcement also contacted that day to back up ACS or animal control?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And then October 19th, there was an incident where Miss Godsy failed to control the dog again and actually commanded the dog to get another resident. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And was law enforcement contacted, and was Miss Godsy ultimately arrested?
She was.
Okay. And with regard to the notice to vacate, I'm sharing plaintiff's exhibit number 6. Do you recognize this document? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not sharing it. Do you recognize this document?
I do.
And is this a true and correct copy of the original that you instructed our law firm to prepare?
It is.
And was this issued to the defendant by priority express mail, certified mail, and regular first class mail?
It was.
All right. And is the defendant still residing in the premises made the basis of this lawsuit?
She is.
Are you asking this court to award plaintiff a judgment for possession?
We are.
Are you asking this court to award plaintiff a judgment for its reasonable and necessary attorney's fees as well as cost of court?
We are.
Okay, great. Your Honor, I pass this witness. Oh,
All right,
actually, I offer plaintiff's exhibit number 6 in evidence, but I pass the witness as well.
Any objections to plaintiff's exhibit number 6, Ms. Godsy? No? All right, it'll be admitted into evidence. All right, and what are the attorney's fees?
Your Honor, my name is Scott Forney. I'm a licensed attorney in the state of Texas, and I have been since May 2013. As of January 29th, I will have been with the Sworn Law Firm PLLC for 12 years. I currently serve as the chair of the Justice Court section of the State Bar of Texas. I also serve as Texas Apartment Association Legislative Legal Subcommittee for the last 3 legislative sessions. In addition to that, I'm an approved TA Red Book seminar presenter Our firm began work on this file on October 27th, 2025, when we opened the file. That same day, I held an initial meeting with the clients, reviewed the documents, began drafting a 30-day notice to vacate, organized preliminary exhibits, and instructed support staff to issue subpoenas. From that day forward, we have continuously worked on the matter through the notice to vacate, open records requests, as well as drafting the eviction petition, preparing for trial. We've subpoenaed 4 witnesses, witness preparation, and presentation today. We keep contemporaneous billing records in the ordinary course of business through time slips. All billing entries are recorded at or near the time the work is performed. Through December 29th, the total attorney and staff time billed was 24.25 hours. I bill at a rate of anywhere from $350 or $325 an hour to $400 an hour, depending upon the client and the matter. The total fees billed on our invoice through December 29th, 2025, and this is invoice 31511, were $5,037.50. And at that time, the expenses were $324.73. Some of that was, and I'll ultimately subtract that out, the filing fee, which is court costs. After that invoice, we've had additional time. We attended the initial trial setting, which Ms. Godsy appeared at and said that she had a funeral to attend. So the court reset the case 2 weeks ago to today. So we've incurred an additional 14 hours of trial prep, re-notifying witnesses, and this is going back from December 29th, not from 2 weeks ago. And additional expenses, mostly including paying the process servers to serve the subpoenas. So in total, we have 40.25 hours, and that includes my time from today and trial preparation and appearing for trial. These fees total $8,268.75.
Plus the court costs.
The expenses that we've incurred are $851.38. That's a copying, postage, and then the subpoena fees, which we've incurred almost $700 for serving the subpoenas. So it's my total that plaintiff's reasonable and necessary attorney's fees through the time of trial today is $9,120.13. In my professional opinion, based on my experience and knowledge of customary fees in this area for conduct-based evictions, the time spent and the rates charged were reasonable and necessary, Your Honor. And I have 2 subpoenaed witnesses. If the court would like to hear further, I would reserve the right, certainly, to call them for rebuttal purposes.
All right. I think the defendant has left the hearing. Okay. And so it's a judgment of the court to plaintiff recover possession of the premises. And in addition, attorney's fees in the amount and costs in the amount of $9,120.13 plus the court costs that execution issued. All right.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. May we all be excused and all my witnesses are excused.
You'll send me an order, a judgment.
Okay, I will send the court a judgment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
You're all excused. Thank you for appearing today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
That big of a fool of yourself, you weren't even leaving.
That wraps up today's courtroom breakdown here on the Legal Watch. If you found this video informative, make sure to leave a like, and for more explosive legal cases, don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment below. Do you agree with the judge's decision or not? We'll see you in the next case. Until then, stay sharp, stay aware. This is the Legal Watch.